And they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. There's just humans. Just a bunch of humans out there and a bunch of people that don't want to take responsibility for this fuck up that they've created. And they want to lie and distort things and gaslight the whole population. And then somehow or another, these people that are doing that are allowed to spend hundreds of millions and billions of dollars on advertising and on television. And so now the television networks will never criticize them. Because they get all this fucking, this is like the argument about advertising for pharmaceutical drugs. We're the only country other than New Zealand in the whole world that allows pharmaceutical drugs to advertise.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's just us in New Zealand. And New Zealand's far more restricted than us. But the way our system is set up, all these television networks, CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, they all rely on a giant percentage of their advertising budget comes from pharmaceutical drugs.
And don't you just love those ads?
But it's not. Here's the thing. It's not to sell more drugs. It's so that those people will never criticize those drugs.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm familiar with the argument. Yeah.
Yeah, the ads are great.
Yeah, it's like always be some dude just kicking ass.
Yeah, having a great time.
Wakes up, jogs with his buddies, kicks ass all day. At night he's like out with his lady, and he's like getting ready, and it kind of ends at the end of the night. And you're like, that's some bitch getting lucky,
Yeah.
And it's like, ask your doctor if such and such. And you're like, shit, I want to kick ass like that old guy.
And then they read off the side effects. The side effects at the end: suicidal thoughts, powerful diarrhea. Like, oh god. Anal bleeding. Yeah. Oh, Christ. We live in a weird world, man. It's a weird world. It's a world, whenever you involve money in things, money, profit, and the ability to lie, you get a lot of real shady things.
What frustrates me already is it's going to be impossible to explain it. Like now I can't, it's very hard to explain the 9/11 terror attacks to my kids. And I want to be, when they make, in 10 years, 20 years, whatever, when they make a docu-series on the COVID-19 pandemic and the social response and the government response, like I really want to be in the room on the edit. I'm like, don't forget about, like the telling of how it happened.
Yeah. Well, the hope is that with AI in these large language models is that AI will be able to distribute information objectively without that. And that is the case in a lot of situations where they haven't been corrected yet. Like AI is subject to human influence, obviously. Like I'm sure you're aware of the Google Gemini situation. Yeah. The Google Gemini situation is the best one because they said, create images of Nazis, and they had multicultural Nazis. Right? Yeah. But if it has to analyze information about specific things just based on just what's actually available, oftentimes it will give you a very accurate assessment that you wouldn't get from a newspaper.